Hi everyone. Today's video is a special video because I'm going to tell you what my surveyor friends tell me and why they fail students in certain circumstances. So I'll read out their message word by word because I've asked them on areas where students are weak in. So let me read out the email to you guys, and so I'll keep looking at the screen and at the camera at the same time. So I asked him about areas where students normally don't do well in and they fail. So the my friend who's a surveyor, a couple of my friends actually. One of them is a surveyor in AMSA in Australia, and the other one is a surveyor in MCA UK. Another batchmate of mine is a surveyor in India as well. So I have kind of collated their email and trying to summarize it for you. So one of them says, I know I have mentioned this before. And you guys are teaching it correctly, but I still find candidates who tell me that a couple of masthead lights and a side light or two is a power driven vessel underway and making way. Now, as soon as he hears this, he asks the students how they know it's making way, to which the answer often refers to the side lights being on. He then asks them what they would do if they stop their vessel in the water, and if they switch off their side lights, that may well be the end of the exam. Even the 1948 collision regulations did not differentiate between lights when making way or not for power driven vessels underway. There may be confusion with vessels like not under command, where the lights do change between making way and not. So this was one of the concerns that were asked by the, or rather told to me by my surveyor friends. Make sure that you understand the difference between making way and underway. If you don't, then I definitely plan to make a video on it sometime soon. Then the second concern was rule number 18, particularly for a vessel on the port bow. This may also be rule number 19 actually, not rule number 18 but rule number 19, restricted visibility for particularly for vessels on the port bow. Get this wrong by standing on and the exam may be over. So if you say that you will be a stand-on vessel just because you see a vessel on the port bow, the exam may be over. All right, so have a think, go through rule number 18 and rule number 19. Then my friends tell me that quite a few candidates, when facing a fire scenario, will not switch off the source of heat, example in galley, or source of fuel, example in the engine room, or electrical power, example the switchboard. Instead, they just use an extinguisher, usually the appropriate type, but not always. And they use the fire blankets. When told the fire flares up upon removal of the blanket in a galley fire and asked why this could happen, sometimes they give the right answer but still don't know that I'm trying to get them to shut off the heat. So make sure you mention about switching off the source of heat or fuel. The next concern is students often don't know what dead weight means and how to calculate a maximum loadable quantity, especially this is for chief mate candidates. But at least if you're second mate, make sure that you know the definition of dead weight and what it actually means. They also need to know how the different tonnages relate to each other or don't. Example, gross tonnage, light ship, net tonnage, what's the difference between it? Now I have made a couple of videos on gross tonnage and net tonnage, what is the difference. Make sure you watch those videos and understand the difference. All right. And the last bit here is they need to know, the students, they need to know how to apply load lines. Example, which load line to load to go from summer to tropical and vice versa. If they get this wrong, they are either short loading, which is a commercial issue only but still wrong, or overloading, a safety issue and therefore potentially contributing to a failing result. So these were the 5 areas that were pointed out by my surveyor friends, areas where the students go wrong. Now you may be going for second mate exam or chief mate exam, so make sure you prepare in these areas to the level that is expected from you. So I'll repeat again. The first one is not knowing the difference between making way and underway. The second one is studying rule number 18 and 19 and understanding what action to take if you see a vessel on the port bow. Sometimes you could be on reciprocal or nearly reciprocal courses. This is the point I'm trying to make here. Just because it's on a port bow doesn't mean it's a crossing situation. So understand the difference, and of course if it's restricted visibility, then understand the difference as well. Question number 3 was when facing a fire scenario, make sure you switch off the source of heat or fuel or electricity. Number 4 was knowing what dead weight means, and if you are chief med candidate, knowing how to calculate the maximum loadable quantity. And the last one is knowing how to apply the load lines. What does the load lines means? To how much level can you load? So this was a very important email, and I thought I must share it with you guys because I have been talking to my friends in how I can make different videos on which topics I should be making. So of course I'll be making videos on these topics, but at the same time, if you are preparing for orals and you're due shortly, make sure you focus on these orals, on these topics as well. All right, I hope you found this video beneficial. I always look forward to your feedback and comments so that I can improve the learning experience. Thank you very much, and bye for now.